Buongiorno and benvenuto to my patio in northern Italy. In this video, I'm continuing the restoration of Zio Dino's 1986 Wilier Triestina Ramato road bike with the installation of the Campagnolo Victory LX derailleur and shifters. I will focus on the downtube friction shifter assembly because they're made of lots of little bits. If you haven't already, check out my last video where I show the disassembly and reassembly of the Campagnolo Victory LX rear derailleur. Links in the description box below. Here I have the nice and clean Campagnolo Victory LX rear derailleur. Make sure to grease the threads of the gear hanger screw before installation. The bolt needs a 6mm Allen key. Pay attention that the tab of the upper body bush engages behind the derailleur hanger as shown in this still image. The derailleur should swing freely, but that tab should prevent it from doing a 360. Onto the front derailleur. It attaches to the braze-on fitting like so, with the faceplate before the 8mm nut. I haven't made a dedicated video of its disassembly and cleaning because it's a very simple design with nothing complicated about it. The only thing to note is that after giving it a thorough cleaning in degreaser and hot soapy water, I lubricated all the pivot points with cheap dry chain lube. The final tedious adjustments were made off camera. I've added a link below to the great Park Tool video tutorial on front derailleur adjustment. Now on to what you've all probably been waiting for. This exploded view of the Campagnolo Victory LX shifters can be found on my Instagram and Twitter. Links in the description box below. First step is to install the stop plate around the shifter boss on the down tube like so. The tab should face away from the frame and protrude towards the head tube. As I demonstrate here, the tab will prevent the shift lever rotating too far clockwise. Note that the shift lever has two recesses for round washers, one flat and the other concave. Now install the flat nylon washer onto the boss. Then on goes the shift lever. And now the convex nylon washer. Because of the square cutout, it can only be installed in one direction. Make sure its convex face sits snugly inside the concave recess of the lever. Now for the two metal washers and the screw, which I've greased the threads of. The washer order is big first and then the tiny one. Screw it all the way in using the little D-shaped handle. The tightness of this screw will determine the amount of friction experienced when moving the lever. Too much and you won't be able to make a shift, or too loose and there won't be enough tension to keep the derailleur in place. This standard road shift cable installs through the hole from the upper face of the shift lever. Make sure that the cable goes under the tab of the stop plate. Pull the cable all the way through until the little cable end sits securely into the recess of the lever body. Rotate the lever arm all the way forward. This position will correspond to the least cable tension. Route the cables through the two cable guides under the bottom bracket. The cable of the rear derailleur then enters the internal cable routing entrance just behind the bottom bracket. It is an enclosed tube end to end, so there is no need for a guide wire to pull the cable through. Now at the rear derailleur, I have the cleaned original cable outer, which routes the cable from the opening of the internal cable routing around to the derailleur. Make sure it is seated snugly into place. All that is left to do is tighten the cable clamping bolt, which needs an 8mm socket. The cable routing for the front derailleur is very simple. It just comes straight up from the bottom bracket between the chainstays and clamps into place with an 8mm socket. To finish, here is a short demo of the rear derailleur in action. I will set the limit screw positions once I have the chain and freewheel installed. But for now, it is all working perfectly. I am curious to find out how my wife, who will be riding this bike, will fare with friction shifting. I suspect poorly, and I will end up making another video series on the upgrade to index shifting for this beautiful 1986 Wilier Triestina Ramato road bike. Anyhow, that's enough for this video. Next time I'll be tackling the overhaul of the Campagnolo Record Strada Superleggeri pedals. Don't forget to comment below, like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notified when that video is available. Arrivederci.